Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival. As the title probably gave away, I am doing a prepping 101. These are, I believe, macaroni noodles. Yeah, these are macaroni noodles that I'm going to do an unboxing of and then show you how I'm going to store them. But first, I have to give a shout out to Stone the Crow's Homestead. Thank you for joining the coffee club and supporting my enormous coffee habits. And also to uh, Native and Devout Preppers. Thank you also for joining the coffee club and yes, supporting my increasing coffee habits. The more or the less I eat on a fast, the more I drink coffee because it's the only thing keeping me running. So my brain power is running at about 30% today. So keep that in mind throughout this video. All right, so I have a lot of buckets here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 buckets here. I got one with a Gamma Seal lid. The rest of them have this regular lid. For those of you that don't know, the Gamma Seal lid is this one. It screws on there if you lock the seal. It's got a rubber seal up under this ring. You lock the ring on the bucket and you can screw the lid on. I had trouble finding these at the other stores I've been trying to get into without my mouth diaper on. And yeah, so I only have the one of these, and I'm going to use this for a water filter, which is not this video. I will be recording that video here either late today or early tomorrow, actually. That's the goal, hopefully. All right, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to unbox the macaroni. I have mylar. I have, like I said, several buckets and that. Now, 2 of these buckets are required for my, I'm off of there. Buckets are always stuck together. Or 2 of the buckets are required for the water filter build I'm going to do. So I have 3 buckets to work with. I don't think the macaroni is going to take more than possibly 2 buckets, possibly, because I also have, what's that, about 50 pounds of rice I'm going to put in the bucket. It's probably not all going to fit. I think you only fit about 35 pounds in the bucket. So yeah, I'm in the storage room. I haven't been in here in a while, not for a video at least. And let's do the very first unboxing video on Grim Survival. Here we go. The box is opening. The box is open. That's an unboxing video right there, people. That's how that works, right? Somebody gets something they've never seen before, and they open the box and show you how surprised they are about what's in it. I've never understood unboxing videos. All right, inside of this is 2 bags of macaroni noodles. I tell you, these are sealed very well. You can see they're a little bit dark colored. These got a lot of oxygen inside these bags. Nobody added an oxygen absorber to it. Had they done that, I probably just left it in the bag. But anyway, the story behind these noodles. I got these from Webstaurant Store. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I will show you the link here somewhere in here. But anyway, I got them from that store about 2.5 years ago, and we found them in a closet probably about a month ago. So these things are over 2.5 years have been sitting just in their standard packaging, what they came into. So for longevity purposes, I'm going to go ahead and vacuum seal. Well, I'm going to attempt to seal them in a mylar bag. I won't say vacuum seal per se, but I'm going to see about getting some of the air out of there. Now, I have done these prepping 101 videos before. I've done beans. I've done rice. The rice I had put in mylar and sealed the top of it, put some oxygen absorbers in there, and called it done. The beans I put in just a bucket like this one. These are food grade buckets with a Gamma Seal lid. I added some bay leaves to it and some oxygen absorbers to that also. And flour. I did flour also, same way. I put it in a Gamma Seal lid. Oh, actually, the beans, I put it in a regular bucket with one of these lids and some, what was it? It was plastic wrap that I put on there to keep a seal with the oxygen absorbers, of course. And it was the flour that I did with the Gamma Seal lid, oxygen absorber, and bay leaves. So, in just a food grade bucket. Flour is questionable on its longevity. So I got 2 buckets of flour just to see. That's all I have is two 5-gallon buckets of flour. I am going and looking to find some wheat berries actually, because that's better for storage, according to my friend over at Alaska Prepper. All right, so having everything set up like I do, let's get to it. I will adjust the camera so you can see me better and edit this out. Alright, I have modified the tripod so you can see somewhat of what I'm doing here. Empty bucket. I didn't worry about rinsing these out. There's really no debris in it anyway, but I didn't bother with it because I'm putting it in mylar anyway. So these mylar bags you can find on Amazon. Alaska Prepper has them on his Amazon storefront, I believe. If you don't know where to find them, I mean, just type in mylar bag for 5-gallon buckets. Now what I like to do is just shove it down in the bag as much as I can, as you can see. And then just pour the contents. Maybe I should have made this a little taller. We'll try to make it a little taller. And then just pour the contents in there. And then, of course, I'll need to grab a pair of scissors or something. Some people do that. Some people don't. They trim off the top. I like to trim off the top just so I get more in the bucket and less space being taken up by the bag itself. So, alright, noodles are open, as you can see. They smell fine. They look fine. They're just regular old macaroni noodles. They're not that big, but hey, there's a lot of them. So I am going to get them in this bucket, hopefully without spilling any. That's always the hardest part of doing this, is not spilling any. I spilled some. 5-second rule, right? And yeah, I put him back in there. I really did. Alright. Shake that. You see it's only about half full. Let's see if I can tell you how many of these were the actual weight. Bulk weight was 20 pounds. So it's only 20 pounds of noodles. So these are 10-pound bags. I thought they felt kind of light. I'm thinking that I'll have a little extra space in this bag, so I probably could have gotten away with getting another 20-pound box, but wasn't in the budget currently. Let's see if I can not spill this one. I dropped one that time. It went back in the bucket. Oh, there went another one. Okay. That one's lost somewhere under the tripod. I'm not going to bother with it. So just to show you, this is the top of the thing, or the bucket. This is the top of the bag. It's almost full for 20 pounds. I would say you probably fit about 25 pounds in one of these buckets. Just a rough estimate there. So that being said, I really do have plenty of extra space, if you can see that. So I don't really need to go about cutting the bag and annoying myself with that. So I'm going to leave the extra room in there. And we've got to do one other thing before we get started. I'm going to go ahead and add bay leaves to it. Just 1 or 2. These are just, like I said, bay leaves I picked up from Kroger. They're dehydrated. It's the only place I could find bay leaves. And they have a very strong smell to them. So there's going to be a couple of bay leaves in there. Now the bay leaves are used to keep bugs and critters and whatever else that may have already been in it. But, I mean, like I said, it's been in there for 2.5 years. Look what I just found in it. That is not a macaroni noodle. Still a noodle when it's going in, but still. I got a little extra there on that one. Yeah, you're there. I'm down here. Anyway, where was I? The extra thing I had to do. This I picked up from Amazon is a package of oxygen absorbers. These are 1000 cc, I believe. Doesn't say on the package. Oh, I'm wrong. These are a 10-pack of 2000 cc oxygen absorbers. So these are 2000 cc. I'm only going to add one of these to there. And like I said, this is a 10-pack. Now, there's ways to store this. You can store it. I mean, the easiest way is just to stick it in a mason jar. Make sure you have the correct seal on there. Screw the lid down. It'll seal the mason jar. I've done it. It works. But I'm going to do this a little bit differently. You guys remember these? Alright, let me set up a work spot here so you can see it better. There's always a lot of question on how to, save your oxygen absorbers. A lot of questions. I see them all the time, especially on Alaska Prepper's channel, because Alaska Prepper is the expert on the subject for sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to vacuum seal them in a vacuum seal bag, a manual vacuum seal bag that I happen to sell at grimsurvival.store. So the reason for sealing them, I mean, you technically don't have to vacuum seal these things. It's just going to make it last just a little bit longer. Because when you put it in there with all the air, they have to suck out the air, and it uses your oxygen absorber just ever so slightly. Probably the same. Well, I'm sure they vacuum sealed it in here. But if you don't know how to check your vacuum seal bags to make sure, or your vacuum seal bags, your oxygen absorbers to make sure they're good, as long as they're very flexible, they work fine. So I'm putting one, if you can see that, in there. Just one. And I'll put the lid down just a little bit just because it's going to be a minute before I get to doing the rest. Now the rest of these, I'm putting them in this vacuum seal bag. Hopefully this works. One of them is just being stubborn. What this is, and this comes with the 20-piece kit that I sell in the store. Everything you see here comes with the 20-piece kit. It comes with, I believe, 17 bags, the clips, the pump, and yeah, everything you really need. The other kit is a 17-piece kit. Yeah, I'm not editing that out. 17-piece kit, and it only comes with the bags, so it's basically extra bags. It says it in the description. This is a little white clip that you run across the seal to make sure it's sealed properly and evenly. It has a little groove in there, and you just run it through like so. And now the extra thing to do here is, yeah. I think it came with 3 of those clips, but I'm only seeing 2 in my bag, or my container that I've been storing them in. So I will run it with 2 anyway. So you put these on here just to make sure it's not popping the seal when you vacuum seal it. Now, you just put the thing on there and you start pumping it out. Now, like I said, this is really not necessary with the oxygen absorbers. It'll do the job without doing this because they'll suck out all the oxygen themselves. But just to give it a little bit of longevity, making sure that my pump bags work. And you just keep pumping it until there's no air in it. Basically, you'll see everything get tight around there. It already pretty much is. But I keep pumping it until I don't hear any more air coming out. These are great for holiday leftovers. And these bags are reusable and washable. They're just not recommended in a dishwasher. But that's that. It's done. As you can see, they're vacuum sealed. I don't know if you can see how tight it is. I probably could have used a smaller bag. That's okay. I'll always reseal it. Like I said, these are reusable. I can open this up, take them out, put them in one of the smaller bags. Maybe it would have fit. That's the smaller bag. I think this is the medium-sized bag. It does come with large bags too. So, yeah. There. My oxygen absorbers are sealed. Now, let's see what we can do with sealing this mylar. I'm using this. This is I believe a hair straightener. And I put it on high just now, so it's going to be a minute for it to get hot. And one other thing I'm going to use. Now, I've done this before, but I usually have 2 people doing it because doing it by myself is rather difficult. But what I'm going to use, this is a vacuum cleaner. It's one of those handheld things, cheap one. And typically it has these things on there, but for me they come off. And I can use this, and what I'm going to use this is I'm going to put it down in the bag and suck as much air out of it as I can as I seal it. Now, how I'm going to do this with only 2 hands and not an extra person is definitely questionable, but we're going to figure it out. Me and you together. We are figuring it out together. All right, these bags do have a seam. If you can see that little lip right there, that's a seam. So I like to seal it that way, so the seam's on the outside. Basically, push as much air out as you can. Hold it closed a little bit, force it down in there, get the lip up. Mylar is not that hard to work with, but Alaska Prepper has an easier method. He has a hair iron and a flat piece of board. He lays it over and just irons that thing. I don't have the hair iron or the flat piece of board. I have this little straightener thing that I stole from my wife. So, yeah. And Mylar is basically a very thin type of metal type stuff, okay? And when you heat it up, it very well easily sticks together. Can you see how well that's already sticking together? This thing's not even completely heated up yet. And you can see where you're going with this, so you know exactly where you are, what has been heated and sealed and what has not. And I always go back, because there's always little crinkles here and there. I worry that those little crinkles, little things in them, might just have a little bit of an air pocket or the ability to trap air in there or even allow air back in after the fact. So I always go over the top really well as I go down about 2 inches. Now we're getting close to the edge here. As you can see, I got about that much left. That's it. Everything else is hot, ow, and sealed. So yeah, everything else is good to go. Now the tricky part. How I'm doing this with 2 hands and not 4 is questionable. So I got to hold this up here, put it in there like so, and then I got to seal around it without melting this bag. So, or melting the vacuum actually. So this might be a little loud. I apologize for that. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be, actually. So I hope you got to see that. I have a little pocket here where the vacuum was, and then I sealed down under it, and I double and triple sealed down under it. And yeah, I can tell you there's just a little bit of air in there. Not nearly as much as it could be. So, and that's that. Those are noodles in a bucket right there. The little bit of air that you see when you push down on it, that's a good thing, so that you know it's sealed properly. So you know that's a good thing. The oxygen absorber is going to take care of that, especially the 2000 cc. And that it is. There it is. Okay, so these are 2.5 years old, but I'm still going to write down the day in which I sealed them, which I got to remember what day it is. So today is December 3rd. This is an industrial strength Sharpie. It still will wipe off there with alcohol if you want to reuse your lids for something else at a later time if you use what's in there. So, yeah, it will wipe off. I guess I just read it here. Yeah, I wrote Mac noodles on there, so yeah, just easiest way to remember it for me. So everybody has their own little method of doing this, but this is the 3rd different method oh, here we go. Let me fix this. Hey, there I am. This is the 3rd different method I've shown you on how to store food. I don't know how many more of these I can do because it's all basically the same. I've done the first one in Mylar, just like you've seen, without the vacuum cleaner, sucking air out of it. I've done the second one with the bucket and plastic wrap, food grade bucket plastic wrap on the top. The 3rd one was the Gamma Seal lid with a, food grade bucket, and this is the fourth one now with mylar yet again and the vacuum cleaner. Oxygen absorbers in every one of my buckets. The only thing I recommend you don't put oxygen absorbers in is going to be your camera's over here, is going to be your sugar and salt. Salt obviously is a preservative. The only thing you need to do with salt is keep the keep the moisture away from it. So sealing it in a bucket typically is fine. If you put some plastic wrap on top of that bucket, that'll help a lot keep the oxygen out. But Gamma Seal lids, I definitely recommend them. Highly recommend them. They make everything a lot easier. A lot easier. So I will be making the water filter bucket. I have the filters. I'm basically going to put a regular bucket. I'm going to put the bucket with the Gamma Seal lid on top. And two buckets together are going to make one Berkey water filter. But that is a different video, and I'm going to shut up now. So I thank you guys for watching. I thank you guys for joining the coffee club. Oh, I got a couple new Patreons. I'm going to be making a special video for Patreon here with either late tonight or tomorrow as well. So I'm a busy kind of guy. All right, we also have the Indiana meetup coming that me and a few others are putting together. We're going to be meeting probably on a Wednesday coming up soon. If anybody in the Indiana area, central Indiana, or anywhere else in the vicinity wants to meet up with us, go ahead and send an email to the email that's in my description. That's contact@grimsurvival.net. And I'll see you next time.